Hello, it's May here. In this video, we are going to be talking more about eagle rushes because I literally cannot have enough of this topic. And while I'm sure y'all are fucking annoyed at me at this point, I don't really care, and I think that this is what we are going to be talking about for the next however the heck long this video lasts. This video is going to be acting as follow-up to the previous video. I've heard comments both on the Reddit post I made with the tag shameless self-promotion and on the actual video page about how, one, that this strategy isn't really good and that any player worth any sense of anything should be able to defend it, and also that the previous video seemed more like I was bot slaying than it really was that I was executing a strong strategy. So hopefully this video will help to clear up some of those misconceptions about eagle rushing, and maybe we will actually get something useful out of this video and get ways A, to execute this strategy, and B, to defend against it. Hope you enjoy. Hilariously enough, the first game that I want to show you is a matchup against the Britons. If you recall the thumbnail from my previous video, the subtitle literally was How to Outpower Spiky Britons. So naturally, we are going to be seeing actually how this strategy outpowers Spiky Britons, because you know how big of a power spike the Britons get. It's even bigger than the generic crossbow power spike because you get one extra range on your archer line in Castle Age. On top of the +2 range and +2 attack provided by the crossbowman upgrade and by Bodkin Arrow. My original goal of this is to execute my fast build, but that quickly becomes non-possibility and I recommit to doing my slow build, and I get Men-at-Arms rushed, because apparently that's the thing people like to do at this level. I get Men-at-Arms rush in all 3 of the games that I want to show you. I might not show you all 3 games in their entireties, but crazy shit happens. However, for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through most of the Dark Age in all 3 of these games. This first game will be a game that nearly gets to Imperial. My opponent resigns as I've already clicked up. The second game will be a game that reasonably ends in Castle Age, and the third game will be a game that ends in Feudal Age. However, I am more than willing to assume that the third game really does not fill in the niche of stronger players. This is a person who is sorely mismatched against me, and the amount of elo that I gain from that game definitely shows. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it. So my opponent hits feudal at a fairly reasonable time. He's Britons, he gets one villager lead, and he's obviously not trying to compensate for the villager that I picked off, which is a mistake that I personally always make. I always try to compensate my builds for a villager that I have picked off. I will go up one villager slower because I lost the hill in Dark Age, and it's really something I need to stop doing, but it's something that I will continue doing. So yeah, I have 3 men-at-arms at my base, I just lost my starting scout, and I'm about to use another villager thanks to clever scout play. And also because my APM is Potato. Thankfully, he's going to lose his scout, so there's not going to be any clever blocking plays anymore. So I'm, at this point, going to mill my berries and internally panic because I have 3 men-at-arms in my base, no military, and the only military that I'm about to be producing gets hard countered by men-at-arms. So the question you may be asking is, why am I not recommitting to, say, making my own men-at-arms? And the answer to that is really simple, because I want to keep the food. I need food for upgrades, and the upgrades are going to benefit me a lot more long-term than making a couple of men-at-arms, especially if I need to sink 100 food into the men-at-arms upgrade. And it's called general consensus that a large number of Eagles is stronger than a small number of men-at-arms. And since I'm currently on double barracks, and my opponent most likely is not trying to recommit to men-at-arms at this point, I have a large number of Eagles, and my opponent has a small number of men-at-arms. My opponent, unsurprisingly, this game opts for archers, seeing as how, well, Britons and Britain power spike. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be sending my Eagles forward, seeing what I can harass, seeing what army he has, and hopefully not panicking. And also hopefully keeping my TC working. Now, the scouts certainly are an interesting choice, and at this point I'm not sure where I want to place my first tower. I'm not committed to the spot that I just laid a foundation on, and pretty quickly I'm going to move that foundation off for somewhere else. Pound for pound, depending on upgrades, Scouts beat Eagles, but I have all of my upgrades, and just in case I'm also filtering in a couple of Spearmen. They are going to probably be the least effective Spearmen ever used in the game of Age of Empires, but they are Spearmen and I'm going to be filtering them into my army. Since Britons don't get bloodlines, and I have both of my technologies researched, my opponent will have to get both Forging and Scale Barding in order to be able to beat my Eagles 1-1, which, if he's going for archers, I don't think he's going to want to be doing. So I think he is playing this very well. He's keeping his archers out of harm's way, he's picking off my spearmen, he's using his scouts to try to bait my eagles, and archers do trade fairly decently against eagles at this stage of the game. If the Eagles aren't being actively paid attention to. As a former Mongol main, I do not mind babysitting my units, but then my eco dies. Here's the thing. Filtering in men-at-arms at this stage of the game is not the way to go. This person did manage to kill one of my eagles, but in most cases, someone would have just wasted 60 food that he could have been using to make a villager, or get an upgrade, or go up to castle age. Or if for some reason he got supplies, then that's actually even worse because supplies hasn't paid for itself yet at that stage of the game. It's right here where I'm going to put down a third barracks. You need 4 barracks to be in feudal to be able to mirror quadruple in order to mirror double range archers, but that's only 25 wood extra between the fact that the opponent has to put down barracks to make archery ranges, and also situationally you might not have a blacksmith. I prefer to always open double range and add more as I go, but it depends, which is what literally everybody says. It always depends. It's honestly a little bit annoying sometimes when people say that, but it's true. It depends. I played the second tower horribly, and I played the tower rush horribly, and I lost all 4 of my villagers, and that's my fault, and I recovered from that, and yeah. But he is the one in charge of the game right now. It looks like I have the initiative, but all I have is a couple of forward towers. He has the army, he has mobility and scouts. I just have forward towers and 3 barracks, and I'm also completely neglecting my eco, and I really do need to place down some farms at some point. Do not try to recommit 2 towers after I lose these 2 villagers, which will be soon. And now that he's actually started to get a mass of men-at-arms out, they're actually going to start being useful. Similar against my eagle, similarly to how the mass of archers is useful. I have no idea what his eco looks like at this point. But I know I'm down a total of 5 villagers. Or at least I've lost a total of 5 villagers, and I've had a bunch of fuck-ups in my economy. And then every time I look at my economy, my units suddenly decide they need to be babysitted. So at this point is when I put a 4th rack down. I make sure I have enough people on gold that I can actually sustain that production. And I'm now soon pumping out eagles just as quickly as he's pumping out archers. Archers take like 30 seconds to create. He has 2 ranges. I have 4 barracks, and the eagles take a minute to create. If you do the math, it comes out nicely. Actually, aren't feudal archers slightly slower? Aren't feudal archers like 35 seconds? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But at this point, by sheer volume, I'm in the process of creating more units, but I do not have more units because he has been trading fairly effectively with me at this point. The main issue I have right now is that he's playing an AI army comp. He has access to 5 military units and is currently creating 3 of them. He has scouts, he has archers, and he has men-at-arms. Odd. He actually is playing this really nicely despite having an AI army comp. My goal at this point is more to keep my Eagle Mass alive. I know that by not killing his archers, I'm letting him take a power spike, and I'm willing to accept that I'm letting him take a power spike because I know my power spike is going to be greater and I also hit Castle Age. I have Eagles. I will get 2 Pierce Armor to match his 2 attack. I will get Speed to match his 3 range. I will get Attack that more than matches his hit points, and I get hit points that put the armor even further up. I've just clicked up to Castle Age. I don't realize right now that he's about 80% to Castle Age. He's going to hit Castle Age. I'm going to bail. And then I hit Castle Age and he bails. That was probably the worst thing that he could have done. When he's in Castle Age, he's the one with the initiative. Even if he has 2 towers in his base, he's ahead of me. He has the age advantage. He has the stronger units. He could totally destroy me right now. So now I'm panicking because I know that he's going to hit my base with crossbowmen who kill my eagles in half the time. That he only needs 13 in a volley to wipe me. And that I'm just hoping that maybe I can hit Castle Age and get my upgrades before, well, these fuckers show up. So I'm panicking. I don't know what to do with my gold miners. I'm just going to send my eagles out to die, lose my power spike, try to patrol them in, cancel, do other shit, and then I hit Castle Age and just fucking runs away. Now, I don't blame him for it, but it's not an immediate power spike. The only thing that's the immediate power spike is the attack bonus against cavalry, and the 3 melee attack. Everything else that comes in with eagles has to be researched. And I don't even have some of my technologies. No, I actually do have everything except iron casting here. There's one game where I didn't even get chainmail. I couldn't afford it. So here I am with a mass of 29 post-castle eagles, and here he is with like maybe 15 crossbowmen. And I fucking decide this checkpoint engagement's a good idea. That was a very good play for him to be willing to take that engagement, and that was a very bad play for me to not take that engagement. And I'm not actually out that much, but it certainly would have hurt if I'd committed to that engagement. And I'm going to lose a tower, and we're going to be fighting up through the town center. I'm not actually that concerned about fighting up through the town center because I have my Incan Husk Eagles. And he's playing very good defensively with his crossbows, and I look away and suddenly I'm out 10 eagles, and he's already attacked into longswords, and he's been garrisoning some of his crossbowmen in the town center, so I kind of just give up and run away. I mean, I keep my army forward, and I decide, well, fuck it, I'm gonna put down a castle. And then I just, like, waste the initiative that I have and type a couple things in the chat that he doesn't at all respond to, and I totally respect him for it. The APM's top priority. But yes, I do want to point out the irony of me versing a Britain player first thing after releasing a video on how to outpower spike the Britons. I don't know, it just kind of seems more than a little bit weird that I've just completely lost the opportunity to make that title just because I literally did it, like, last video. I'm out a good title because I squandered the opportunity before the opportunity was right. He's playing very strongly defensively. I could not play this strongly defensively, and I literally devoted the entirety of my time to playing defensively back when I was like 1100. So it'd be a semi-fast castle behind some counter units. 22 pop up just because I know that if I do something stupid like 27 plus 2, I'm gonna get wiped. And of course without walling. And so here I am, I discovered his second town center. I'm still on one town center because, well, this is a 1 TC all in. What the fuck else do I do on a 1 TC all in? And I kind of just let my Eagles tink on the archery range before I finally get them out. I make sure that all my production buildings are working, and I make sure that I'm, well, sort of making sure that I have all of my upgrades. I don't think I've gotten any eco upgrades since Double Bit Axe and Horse Collar. And well, I'm now going to have to put a castle on his face. That doesn't really deny any key resources, but it does range his town center, which is, well, ouchie. And at this point is when I should have recommitted to slingers. Made sure I had the wood for it, put down 2 ranges, started making slingers. I wait a little bit longer before I recommit to slingers. I wait until I see that he has a good mass of longswords. And he's not even decommitting to crossbows, he's straight up doing full army comp of crossbow longsword, which I guess is kinda sorta effective. I would never use crossbow longsword in a competitive game unless I were unless I were explicitly facing a mesociv going something like Eagle Jag, or I don't even know what crossbow longsword would really effectively counter. Longswords really only counter eagles. But then, what does crossbow counter? They're infantry, but then you shouldn't be going longswords against other infantry. I don't even know what the army comp does. That's how confused I am right now. But I see massive longswords, so I put down double range, I get fletching, and I start making slingers. And I see that this guy is repairing his town center. Britons get cheaper TCs. I'm going to try to run under it, and I'm going to stop trying to eat the town center because there's a massive blob of longswords that can probably eat my town center if they tried. But since I have the initiative, I have a castle on his face, there's not much that he can do right now, and we're just going to let that stand. I'm going to take Bodkin, and I'm going to start making slingers, and I'm going to wonder what's in that siege workshop. You can't possibly be trying to do a push under the castle, that would be all stupid. There's not much that you can do under the castle, and any siege is just going to get completely done by the Eagles, because, well, that's the role of the Eagle. They're an anti-siege unit. It's like trying to attack Magyar castles with ramps. You're just going to get the Hussar. The play here would be Bum Rush and Trips. I think. I don't know, he doesn't have a castle, I have no idea where the stone is, I have no idea if he even took any stone at this point, but me, personally, my play would be Bum Rush, Imp, make Trebs. And then you've written, so you get the Werewolf Trebs, which are even more ridiculously overpowered. And I see I have plenty of food and some gold, so I think I'm going to click up to Imp. And I have a bunch of slingers, and the slingers are destroying longswords because Utas have the most powerful counter unit in the game. In Cambiac, but slingers are also pretty good. And then I'm just going to take out the other ram before it does too much. Suddenly he has no army, and he calls it. Good game. Some of the major takeaways from this game are: you do not really want to use rams to take out a castle when there's a bunch of eagles under it. Archers and crossbows are decently effective, and Incan counter units are powerful. You really do not want to go for a singular comp against Incas. And probably the biggest reason I prefer Incas for this is because of their counter units. You get the Slinger, which will counter the longswords that you will almost definitely see. And if you don't see longswords and you see knights instead, you can make Kamiuk. He had a 2-minute lead to castle that he really should have utilized, and that's the big thing. He should have used his castle advantage. He might have made knights, he might have used his crossbows, he should have done something to help to get rid of my eagle mass before I got my castle age power spike. Also, one more thing before we go on to the next game. This is a terrible example of a wood line. So for the second game, I am up against a Lithuanian player. Now, being a former Lithuanian main, this doesn't... Well, this hurts a little bit, because, I mean, I know the Lithuanians as if I like them. I know that if for some reason this early castle aggression fails, that I really do need to be looking out for the relics, because I do not like... I mean, Kamiuk beat 4 relic Latus, but I really do not want to have to worry about it. I would just rather prefer to be the guy with 4 relics rather than be facing the guy with 4 relics when the other guy's a Lithuanian. Naturally, I expect a scout rush from a Lithuanian because that's like the entire thing that Lithuanians do if I'm not going to be rushed at minute 3 anyway. And I get men at arms. Again. Like I said at the beginning, I get men at arms all 3 games that I'm going to be showing you, so we are going to have a massive problem. And it's a problem that I somehow resolve all 3 games. So, with that, what I'm going to be doing is, once again, I'm going to be fast forwarding through most of the Dark Age until we get to an interesting point again. Well, guess who's getting dressed again? Thankfully, I'm actually the one in feudal age first this time, and my quick ball fails miserably, so I'm not going to be happy with this result. I'm probably going to lose at least 1, probably more villagers. Well played scout blocking. There goes 2, and I'm just like in such a terrible position right now, but I know he's nearby. I'm going to get my Eagles out, and they are going to start doing things. He's going to lose a scout. He has 2 militia. My starting scout is drilling through his base. He hits feudal, so I'm worried about the men-at-arms power spike. Hopefully I'm going to get 2 more Eagles out and we can do things, and I'm also going to see how well I can harass his walls. Because fuck the wall meta. Nobody likes it when your soft state is Dresh Wall Fast Castle. 1 TC aggro, bum rush imp, because y'all got castles, and then y'all have to do a treb war because that's literally the only way castles get taken down in this game. Ramp pushes almost never work. So good on him for recommitting to men-at-arms. I do not like the fact that he has a blacksmith from a I want to win perspective, though I can totally respect it from a I know he wants to win perspective. And I think the main mistake that he's going to be making this game is twofold. He's going to be paying too much attention to his economy. Well, no, too much. He's going to be paying too much attention to babysitting some of his units, and not enough attention to his economy, and he's going to be paying not enough attention to diversifying an army composition, because he is not even going to go men-at-arms archers, he's just going to go straight men-at-arms into longswords. And they're great for countering eagles, but there's really nothing competitively viable about it. Because I'm doing the slow build, I don't have blacksmith down immediately, but I do eventually want to get my upgrades too, so I'm going to put down a blacksmith, get fortune, and scale mail eventually. And I'm going to see how many villagers I can harass and maybe kill, because I lost 2 villagers in a good deal of work time. I want to return the favor. I've already picked off a couple, I think, but I want blood. And I want upgrades. I really want upgrades. If he's out-teching me, it's even worse. It's like if I'm out-teching him, if I have both upgrades and he has neither upgrade, my eagles are going to be able to beat his men-at-arms in very close to, but not exactly, equal numbers. It's like 9 hits to kill an Eagle Scout versus 8 hits to kill... it's 9 hits to kill men-at-arms versus 8 hits to kill an Eagle Scout. And of course that just gets, like, totally amplified if I can make it to Castle Age first. Which, depending on the success I have in Feudal, I may or may not too. I don't actually remember who gets Castle Age first this game, so we'll have a learning experience together. But some of the points I made in posts, when people brought up how stupid that they thought eagle rushing was that eagles are slow to create. Eagles are slow to create. It's 1 minute per eagle per barracks. But it's the exact same initial investment as going for barracks plus stable, and though you can't go straight stable because you need the barracks to be able to create stable unless you're playing as the Khmer, in which case, well, you're playing as Khmer, you have that advantage over basically everybody. And on the other hand, you also have the... oh, no. Where was I? Creation time. Eagles take 60 seconds to create per barracks. Scout Cavalry take 30 seconds to create per stable. So for the exact same initial investment, you're getting units at the exact same rate, and you're also getting... And unlike Scout Cavalry, Eagles are a unit that you actually can mass. You don't normally mass Scout Cavalry between the fact that they are extremely expensive in food cost per unit, and, well, the fact that you don't really benefit from any Scout Cavalry power spikes. Nobody plays Scout Cavalry for the light half power spike. Everybody who plays Scout Cavalry plays them for like 2 or 3, and then either transitions into something else, be that archers or knights. Now, against archers, I said before, it's pretty close to about 3 times. I spent way too much eagle to kill that one village. It's about... Archers create also about twice as fast as eagles. I can't remember if it's 35 or 29. Maybe I'm thinking 35 for feudal archers and 29 for crossbows. Maybe I'm just going fucking insane. But it's like 4 racks to be able to mirror production, which seems huge. But when you remember that the archers player has to go barracks, double range, and blacksmith in early feudal, it's actually just about the same investment. So here's the thing, my motto is Eternal Light Tower, but usually I just apply that to people who I can't get in with my normal unit. So like if my Eagle Rush can't get in, that's usually when I resort to towers. This guy has holes in his walls, and I accidentally exploit them, and it's fucking hilarious sometimes. It's like, and then this guy just fucking stonewalls that one tile. And I'm also being chased by like 6 men-at-arms that he's sunk probably more than 400 food into because he's... also gotten the upgrades and also the men-at-arms that I've already killed. He's spending a lot of food to be able to do this. Spending a lot of food to counter my not very food intensive units. The only reason Eagles are remotely food intensive is because I'm making so many of them. And him spending food, or at least forcing him to make farms, delays his castle time. And then we get this interesting fight where I realize that I can't wall in that tower. And I might lose some villagers, and I just want to get him off of gold. I've already towered his main gold. These are both of his secondary golds that I can tower. And what he's going to do is he's going to start mining stone and selling it. This is very bad. If I have all 3 of your golds towered and you're not even going to do anything defensive, you should just resign. So of course now I'm going up Castle Age, on top of the fact, well, like I said, I've got all of his golds towered, and that he has to take his main stone just to sell it off for gold. I might just straight up send a raiding party in to take his stone. I might tower it, I might just steal it. If I can force him to either resort to trash or resort to being extremely wasteful, that's a win for me, even if he does hit Castle Age when I'm only at about 50%. I'm just going to throw my eagles at his miners, since his miners seem to be throwing themselves at my tower, and I'm just going to eat popcorn, watch the slaughter, delete my tower, save my forward vills, and maybe save some of my eagles, because I do want some of that power spike, though at this point what I think the big thing is going to happen is that I'm going to once again make a transition into slingers. I'm forcing idle time out of his quote-unquote gold villagers, and I'm also just hitting castle age. I think it's worth it if I can even if it sacrifices some of the initial power spike. I'm gonna get my tax. I'm going to completely forget about chainmail at this point. I want Squire's Arson and Elite Eagle because I want to be able to somewhat eat TCs. And I'm going to start making slingers with my shitty ego. And he's going to put a town center on his main gold. That I really no longer have towered off, because once he gets the TC up, he's going to just shoot the tower down. That's okay, I have the stone for a castle. I have more than 553 stone at this point. That's how much it costs for an even castle. Because Incas have their discount on stone defenses, which is like the entire reason why I think Inca Trushing is so good. And like why everybody thinks Inca Trushing is so good. It's not just the discount on stone defenses, it's also the not the stone defense. Every stone purchase except for murder holes, Incans get a discount on. Town centers are 85, stone walls are 4, towers are 108, castles are 553. I think I just covered everything. Wonders are 850, if for some fucking reason you want to build a wonder. Are Incan wonders cheaper? I'll have to look that up. I think Incan wonders are cheaper. But stone's so fast to gather anyway, I don't think Incas are the new meta civ for Wonder Rush. I think that's still Khmer. So, I'm about to get my castle up on his TC, and he's going to put down a castle, and I'm going to send my eagles in, and I'm going to send my slingers in that at this point he didn't even realize I had recommitted to. So he can't even get out his faster Lithuanian skirms. He hasn't even built a stable to make knights at this point, which would kind of counter the entire composition, and he hasn't even had the opportunity to make an effort to get relics just because I've taken all of the map control. Yeah, that just happened. It beats what I used to do. What I used to do was feudal aggro, Boom Castle, make one big push in Imp. Now that I'm like actually learning to do shit in Castle Age, my win rate there is going way up. And I don't have to even take fights to Imp, which is, ironically, despite the fact that like the first thing I look for in a civ is a strong post-Imp, the worst that I perform in. What I want is a civ with a good post-Imp to act as a crutch, while I can also work with it in the Castle Age. What I really should be using is civs like the Aztecs and Malians, who are strong in Castle Age, because that's where I shine. Now, that said, slingers are awesome. He really should have been doing something other than straight men-at-arms into longswords. Because I can just make slingers and I can just wipe his entire army combo, on top of the fact that I have a castle on the second TC, and I can just make more eagles to eat his first TC. And the fact that the castle that he just blew 650 stone, like 800 gold, on is doubted. The Lord Doubt has spoken. This castle is not going up. And he made it in probably the worst possible position. This guy also does not know when to resign. He's at 17 villagers right now. I checked after I played it. He was at 17 villagers. And I got 16 elo for this game. It's the next game that's the guy who really got mismatched. Which makes sense, because one field, but still. You do not overcommit to a single unit. I say overcommitting to a single unit, but at least my single unit's actually, like, strong. So, this is the third match that I wanted to show you, and I'm just gonna skip through the Dark Age the entire time, because nothing really exciting happens. This is a build that you've seen before, and of course, I mean, we're going to laugh at me for not being able to push deer, because my lumber camp is terribly placed, and I'm just gonna fucking give up, because these deer are assholes. I'm gonna be honest, I could have sworn I got men-at-arms rushed this game, and apparently I didn't, so yeah, there's that. But this is yet another Lithuanian matchup. This is a guy who got sorely mismatched, and I really do feel bad for him. But the big things that we are going to get out of this game are we don't know how much men-at-arms to create, and we don't know how to defend against towers. And also, I'm fucking blind, and I completely missed the scouts that are going to kill exactly one of my villagers. And I'm also going to wonder what the fuck those walls are. Like, I mean, I'm mad enough that he's doing walls, but he's doing shit walls. His main stone is completely exposed. He's building his secondary stone into his wall. Why? Why is this guy? Why is this guy? I'm not even gonna ask why is this guy falling weird. I'm not going to ask why is this guy not making so many men-at-arms. I'm just gonna be like, why? Why is this guy doing this guy? To some extent, literally cannot comprehend what some of his strategies have been this game. And that's probably just not, but this is not, I don't think, this is not a low elo legend, this video. I'm not T90. I just want to know what's going on. This is the part of the video where I throw a completely unsolicited shout out. I saw on Reddit that Akal, the streamer who I advertised and fought against in my last Eagle video, is doing a Nomad tournament. Yeah, I would totally be down to participate. I'm still busy in the small tourneys AoE2. I might sign up if I get eliminated next match. But I will provide the link to the Discord post in the description, as well as another link to Akal's Twitch stream, because, well, I feel like it. And basically what he's going to be doing is he's going to be setting up a tournament for all of the Nomad maps. I think Land Nomad, Regular Nomad, and some of the other popular Nomad maps. It's just going to be all Nomad. All Nomad maps all the time. And like I said, I would participate if I weren't busy in small tourneys right now. Please do check it out, please do show this guy some love, and there's not a big prize pool. The prize pool's a subscription to a to somebody on Twitch, and I'm gonna spend it. It's like if I do choose to participate and I do win, I'm going to give it to right back to Akal. Honestly, it's the least I can do. Besides from straight up not accepting it, because some of the money does go to Twitch if I subscribe to Akal on Twitch. But you get the point. Anyway, with that out of the way, poor choice of words on my part, we are back to the part where I'm fucking up. I have no idea how much to commit to a tower rush. I sent 3 villagers forward, I decided to change my mind and I sent them back, but now he's pulled himself in again, and now he's making a fucking militia. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh, he pulled that in, damn it. So yeah, I'm gonna send some more villagers forward, and I'm like actually going to use forward villagers this time, and I'm going to put down a tower. And I'm also going to forget my hotkeys. I'm gonna continue wondering what this guy's doing. He's making militia. You should at least get the men-at-arms upgrade before even trying. You're just throwing away resources if you're just putting militia there. Men-at-arms are good against Eagles, militia are statistically inferior. And since neither unit has bonus damage against the other, it's literally a show of brute force. So one thing I forgot to mention about the guy at the last game is that I put the tower down, and he completely ignored it for a while because he was too busy trying to babysit his army. I don't think I got any build picks out of it, but I certainly was harassing him, which was the entire goal. But he sees tower, he builds counter tower, and he puts mining camp on the only stone that he has in his base. And I'm going to start doing things to attack the other tower. And he's not going to use his garrison tower to attack my tower. He does not understand how tower battles work. He's going to be attacking my eagles. And I'm going to be sending another set of 4 villagers forward because I want to keep those 5 villagers in the tower, and I'm just going to be like horrifyingly overcommitting. But it's an all-in feeble strat, and I'm confident in my ability to make it work against this guy. I could pretty much put a tower right outside of his farms, and I'm just going to be throwing my eagles at that house because he's going to be expending effort to be repairing the tower. And not only is he expending effort, he's expending stone, which is very important because if he uses all of his stone on this tower, and he can't get enough more, he's not going to be able to get up a counter tower at his stone. If I had fewer villagers forward, it would straight up just be a bait and switch. I would have so many villagers forward at mine. Like, I would cancel the tower at his gold and tower his stone, so that he could not build counter towers, and I'd just leave the tower at his gold up. At this point, I've made it through. There's no defending at this point. He's locked his stone villagers in. I'm getting the second tower up, and he just called it. The game's over in feudal. Which, I respect, I understand. It happened. It's GG. God, he could have defended that so much better. So, there's this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something more from it. Have the generic YouTuber spiel. We will take a gander at the statistics, and I will see you next time.